welcome to Mind Your Business, a channel where we are in everybody's business. If you don't mind getting in people's business, you're on the right channel. Talking about current topics and gossip. Well, this week we've got to see the Bells go off on their trip to New Orleans for Letitia's brunch, and of course there was some drama, so let's talk about it, people. Well, guys, my crazy crew, let's talk about Belle Collective. Now, this week, we saw them go off on the bus to New Orleans. We saw Letitia telling everyone about Glenn quitting his job and Cliff, coming round as his spokesperson. I thought it was interesting that in confessional, Glenn was talking about, he ain't telling her nothing about the truck until he pulls up with it. I'm just like, this guy does not learn. The woman sitting next to you is already annoyed that you didn't tell her. And she's asking you about the truck and you're still doubling down, like, make it make sense. Now, Latrice was interesting because she was saying she didn't know that Cliff went over there. He didn't tell her that. And he's not communicating properly with her, basically. And, she's upset about him trying to organise a birthday party again for Glenn, but it'll be on the same date as a business brunch. So I'm like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Like, what is going on? He should be talking to her about that. So those two need to work on their communication skills for sure. But it's interesting seeing Latrice be a bit more bold with him, because I remember seeing Carlos King's interview that he did with Destiny, and she mentioning hanging out with Stormy and Latrice, and how Latrice basically has up Cliff quite a lot. So I'm like, okay, we're getting to see a little bit of that, because when they did reach back to the yard where they were staying in New Orleans, we got to see a little bit of that. But before we saw that, they stopped off at the plantation. And I was just like, oh, my Lord. Obviously, Letitia's telling them they're going up for a couple of days in New Orleans for a little turn-up. I'm like, this is not giving turn-up. This is giving traumatic. But they went to go and look around that, and I thought that would be hard. But what really annoyed me was seeing that it was a white woman that was taking them around, doing the tour guiding around it and talking about the background details. That one I found particularly annoying. I'm sorry. Not sorry. But I felt like it was right message, wrong messenger, because my question was like, so do you own this plantation? This is what's going through my head. Is this your family's plantation? Because it shouldn't even be in your hands anymore. It should be in the hands of black people. So that really annoyed me, seeing that. It's also obviously really upsetting anyway, hearing about the stories and the history of what happens there and just seeing it there, but having her talk about it when they're in the church. Yeah, I was a little bit triggered. I won't lie. Anyway, now when I did get to the house, we saw Latrice and Cliff. And of course, those two are bickering. He's vexed with her because he's telling her, look, I did tell you that I went to Letitia's, and he's quite firm on that. She is also firm. She's like pushing back and told him about his weak ass. I was like, what? Go Latrice. Although I do feel like, I don't know, like the way that Cliff was actually saying, no, like I did actually tell you. I feel like maybe he did tell her, or maybe she just weren't listening to him or something. But I do still like Latrice coming back. I'm like, okay, activated Latrice. I'm here for that. I feel like Cliff comes across as like a very cavemanish. So I do like to see Latrice push back on him a little bit and be like, yeah, I'm not having any nonsense. Like, let's level this playing field a little piece. So I was glad to see her come a little bit of a kickback. I can't lie. Anyway, the next day I thought it was nice that SoGucci organised breakfast for them. I thought that was quite nice. And then they head off to the brunch. And I thought, Letitia, now you head off to the brunch after knowing that this girl just organised breakfast for you. You couldn't just give it a heads up that Selena's going to be there. Now, obviously she gets there and she sees that Selena's going to be there. You could tell by her face she was quite surprised. And so was JJ. But I'm like, okay, that's not Selena's fault. She was invited to go and do the greeting. So yeah, fair enough. But Letitia, she is out of order because she's back to her little Mrs. Fix-It, trying to fix everybody's business when she's got her own stuff to fix. Like, fix Glenn. Sort out what's going on with him and him not telling you about his business and trying to get that communication moving better there rather than meddling with everybody else. Now, I do feel like SoGucci's going to sort this shit out because, like I said before, in my previous episodes about last season, like, SoGucci is a problem because you're the one who had the attitude with Selena in the first place, and they tried to say hello to you. You came up with an attitude, calling her an extra. Now this extra is on the show with you, has a cast member, so you're obviously vexed about that. And once, you called her extra, it all kicks off from there, innit? Like, you can't talk to people in a rude way for no reason. Like, it's your husband's children's mother, so wouldn't you keep it cordial anyway? There was no need for you and your little attitude. So in that sense, it was your fault why this all began in the first place. And then you've kept it going by taking it to the legal system and going through this lawsuit crap, which I thought was out of order because you really know that it's still your husband's children. So to me, you were in the middle of all of it. So I'm glad that you finally, realised that. But I feel like that's why there's no more restraining order, as we learned from last week, where she said that, you know, that's not really there anymore. That's fine. Although I don't know if Letitia knows this, because to me, if she's bringing someone in as a greeter and there's been an issue where they had a legal standing situation, wouldn't you double check that to make sure that's fine? So I'm assuming she would have done. If she didn't do that, then she's definitely messy and mix up. So that's that. But if she did know that the restraining order is no longer there, like there's no more, then fine. But you still could have told SoGucci. Like, I feel like that was out of order. She should have told SoGucci what was going on. There's no reason why they should have walked in there like that. Especially after the breakfast, they should have took her to the side and said, you know what, I just want to give you a heads up. This is the situation. Like I said, she's doing too much because, you know, she's blindsided them. And she's talking about them missing out on networking, which is true. And then I understand where Cliff was like, yeah, don't let nobody run you off. I completely agree with that. I don't feel like they had to leave. It would have been awkward, obviously, for SoGucci because they were on the same table. I get that she's trying to, you know, bring them together. But in this type of situation, you just don't do it in that way. So, yeah, they didn't stay very long. They just left straight away. Literally, they didn't even, I think he sat down for 2 minutes. Did he even have his drink? I don't know. I just know that he just told Gucci that he's ready to go. So she was gone. Anyway, now, when it came to the banner situation, why is Marie getting vexed about this banner and causing a scene? Why didn't she just take Letitia to the side and say, Letitia, where's my banner? What's going on? Or pull Ashley to the side? Why have you always got to make a damn scene? She's so bad vibe with all that. There's no need for that. But anyway, also as a business, like, owner, the moment I got there, I would have been like, okay, where's my setup? Like, where's my banner? Where's my stuff? Did you get it all okay? I wouldn't have just been sitting down chilling. I would have been making sure that it was sorted out before I've gone. I would have been like, Letitia, did you get my stuff? Ashley, did you get my stuff? Like, you come in downstairs at the end to walk past and be like, oh, well, my stuff isn't here. Well, you should have made sure it's still on you. I understood where Letitia was coming from in that respect. She's like, you know, you've got to be accountable for your own things, isn't it? Like, no, I said it. And then, Ashley, it was you was meant to set it up. And Ashley's like, well, no, you know, I didn't see it. You know, I haven't got it here. So had she, you know, followed up on her own stuff, I think that would have saved all of that. Anyway, so later on now, Letitia invites Tambra, Marie and Selena to the pool party later on. I was thinking, this is going to be very interesting. Are you going to tell SoGucci about this? No, she doesn't. So when they get back to the house, the man and them, they go off to go and have their drinks. SoGucci's trying to do like a jokey shade about, oh, well, you know, this lady is meant to be like 50 meters away from me or 50, whatever it was away from me, but Letitia's made it about 5. Why, instead of doing all that, she just taken to the side and being like, Letitia, I don't like the way that you set that up. You should just tell me that she was coming. Then maybe that would have been Letitia's point to say, actually, she's coming also this evening, by the way. But no, none of that happened. They went off and done some sort of workout thing, went out to the pool and were chatting. Now, we see the man and them go off to have their drinks. It was funny because you see them talking about Selena. JJ made me laugh because he definitely dragged Glenn while making his point. Because when everyone's about to start saying, you know, basically, you know, you shouldn't be going off because Selena turned up, JJ's like, well, I don't think outsiders should be basically in my business. And it's like, you know, look at you, Glenn, for example. You know, I can easily say, you shouldn't have left your job. How you going to do that when you know you've got a child at home? You know you've got your woman at home. You didn't even sort out your healthcare. You didn't sort out your shit properly, basically. Now, if I was to say that to you, then that would be wrong, innit? Wouldn't it be wrong? I was like, you just dragged him, told him about himself and flipped it and said, okay, well, this is the reason why I don't have people in my business because it don't feel good. But also letting you know that that's what I see. I don't care. I don't think JJ's handling the situation right with the kids, but I will say that had me cracking up. I was just like, okay, let him know. But yeah, anyway, I do like the guys. I feel like the husbands do have a good way of, you know, communicating. Like, they're better at handling the communications, like they were saying. Like, you know, they will sit around and discuss it. It's funny seeing their little vibes, because you can see that Willie is just trying to like get back in a good graces with all of them, which is funny to me. Glenn's still in his feelings, like I said, about the rap situation. Cliff, I don't know what Cliff's issue is with Willie. I don't quite understand it. I don't understand why I don't like him, but he's quite vocal about not liking him, which makes me laugh. Now, Willie made me laugh too, because he was like, you know what, I'm a dirty player or whatever, but, you know, he showed appreciation to the guys and was like, yeah, I ain't got nothing against you guys. But I feel like they're just all busting his balls a bit. Cliff saying that, yeah, he's fine with JJ, he's just got an issue with Willie. I'm like, what is your issue with Willie? There is no issue. Like, I don't understand it. So it even made me laugh when Willie was like, yeah, I think Glenn, like, I like you, man, you're cool. Do you know what I mean? And Glenn's like, well, you're decent. I'm just like, you guys, man, you're hilarious. At least it's funny, but also good to see them kind of work through their issues. And unlike with the women, where it gets a little bit crazy. Although I will say this week with women, I felt like it was much more better to see, because it was much better, because I felt like Latrice, when she was talking about, not being sure about having kids because she felt like she'll be like a married single parent, I think that was quite nice, her being a bit more, open and sharing, being a bit vulnerable. And she's always been quite open about her growing up without her dad and having daddy issues. So, that's kind of her anyway. But it did seem like Marie and Latrice were getting on for all of 2 seconds before they started beefing again or kind of bantering again. But I do feel like them two have a potential to have gotten along, but it's just gotten so left now that it's crazy, because now obviously there's all lawsuits involved, which we'll talk about in a second. Now, of course, around that time is when the doorbell goes and Letitia goes off to go and open the door to let in Selena. And of course, so she doesn't know about this again. So once again, she is being caught off guard. So I feel like she should have told her. And I feel like SoGucci was right when she said to Letitia, like, why do you feel like you've got to fix it? Like, it's not her business. It's not her family or anything like that. I feel like she should have just told her, like, I've invited Selena, just so you know. Like, just be straight up with it. With all this little sneaky shit is not the one. It's just not the one. But anyway, so we see them start their conversation, and SoGucci's letting Selena know that, look, at the end of the day, JJ feels the way he feels, like she can't change or do anything about that. But she wants to talk to her. So they can end it on that. Selena's surprised that she actually wants to talk to her. The ladies are also so surprised, and it's happening by the pool. So Gucci wants to talk to her just one-on-one, and basically asks the ladies to leave the pool, which I thought was interesting too, because I was thinking, why can't you just get up and go somewhere? The way you two are, based on the last situation, I'm sure that no one wants to have that happen again. But we'll see what happens next week. All the other ladies were like, oh, they're going to be talking, this could go left, it could go right. We shall see. But that's where they ended it. So yeah, we see it end then, and they show us next week's highlight, which looks interesting, particularly when SoGucci telling Selena that she's trying to convince her husband JJ to have a relationship with his girls. I'm like, what kind of bullshit is this? I don't want to hear about no rotted man being told that he has to have a relationship with his girls. I'm pretty sure he knows he has to have a relationship with his girls. Also, you sort out your shit, because I feel like SoGucci is very much involved in what's happening with JJ and his girls, but her own daughter is in crisis. And from the sounds of it, she spent more time and attention with JJ's girls than on her own. So she needs to sort out that shit as well. But I'll see what happens next week. I am looking forward to catching up with that next week. Anyway, now let's get into the behind the scenes drama. Now, behind the scenes, there is a lot of mess going on, my nosy people. Now, the Urban Belle has been reporting about SoGucci and how she is vexed with production, and Carlos King, of course. And now, I didn't see it, but apparently she did an interview with Carlos King where she told him that she felt unprotected by production. Apparently, this video is no longer available. He must have removed it. Yeah, she felt like she was unprotected by production and blindsided because she didn't know that Selena was going to be a part of the cast, and how no one told her. He didn't tell her. Now, apparently he's saying he did tell her. She's saying absolutely not, that's not what happened, which I think is very, very interesting, because one, based on how things went last season, I really knew that he was going to add her to the show because, it's drama, and we all know he loves the drama, right? So, and it made sense for the show. If I was in her position, I would have been thinking, yeah, she's going to probably get added. Obviously, it'd be nice to be told. I agree with her, because I think that's definitely blindsiding, definitely because of the way things transpired and because of the fact that there was legal ramifications involved. They should have told her. If they didn't, that's bang out of order. But also, SoGucci should definitely be looking like, yeah, that will happen, because obviously she felt like she was safe. She was over there bragging about you're an extra, and, she's main cast. And now her extra has come and be a main cast. So, of course, I'm sure that is hurting her slightly. But whilst that is hilarious to me, and also a bit of a gotcha moment, but I will say that from a production point of view, it's very unprofessional not to let your people know why go on with that. And, Carlos King has been accused of a few things lately, so I'm definitely in the side eyeing it. Then you've got Marie, who is also saying that she has been working in a hostile working environment, because we saw that Latrice mentioned that she's going to sue Marie for defamation of character about the things that she was saying. And apparently she did go ahead with the lawsuit. So she was getting sued. So Marie is saying that whilst she was filming, she was silenced on set. She wasn't allowed to say anything about it. And meanwhile, she's getting sued in the background. And obviously they showed Latrice saying that she was going to sue Marie Monroe, but they didn't give her a chance to follow up or address that at any point in time. Is her beef at the moment. So her being silenced and all that stuff, she's kind of vexed about. So she let that be known on her IG. Aikisha has also apparently spoken out as well, because she was upset that she told production to edit out the part where she does a little twerk. And they didn't do that, they left it in. But I didn't think there's any big deal with her little twerk. I just felt it just showing the fun side of her, so whatever. But I get what the point is that, you know, production don't seem to take board of what some of their cast members are saying. And we know that this isn't the only franchise under Carlos King's Kingdom Reign Productions that cast members have spoken out against, you know, how things have been done there. So interesting indeed. Now, of course, I went to go check out social media to see what people were saying on there. Here are some tweets that had me cracking up. Okay, you've seen those tweets and you heard what I have to say. Now, what are you saying about the show? What do you think of the episode? What do you think about the behind-the-scenes drama that I've just mentioned and all that going on? Do you think he's being dodgy behind the scenes, or are the cast just being salty? Let me know your thoughts below. Yes, so thanks for watching that. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and hit that notification bell so you know when I am uploading some more of people's business. So until then, my nosy people, stay blessed.